Hello, 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 hello. おはようございます。こんばんは。おやすみ。俺は名前はFumiyoくん。俺は最強妖怪。よろしくお願いします。Hello, hello, hello. My name is Fumiyo kun. I am the best ghost, the only ghost to tune in, and it's a pleasure to have you again on Poetry Day. Hello. Hi, man. Hi, Kicks. You just woke up. Mate, what time is it for you? I'm assuming it's probably very early in the morning. For me, currently, it's 3:50 p.m., which, in my opinion, is a great time to do poetry streaming. So, I don't really know when to put poetry streams at. I sort of wanted them to be in a time frame where people sort of can listen to them after they come back from school, after they come back from work, but I never really know the right time. Because if I operated under English ruling or European ruling, I should do this at 1:30, which currently speaking, it's 1:50 European time, which isn't my time, by the way. So that would be great. I can catch quite a lot of people as well as quite a lot of Europeans. But what about my NA brothers and sisters and my viewers from that part? Probably not a good idea. So I am never sure. I need to experiment with it. What are you enlightening us this time on Poet? I will be very honest. I am food lagged. I am coining a term today, and it's called food lagged. What it means to be food lagged is basically the following. It means that due to the past month of just not really eating properly, my body hasn't catched up with the fact that I can now drink and eat as much as I like or whenever I like. And because of that, I am unsure of myself. And due to that, my brain hasn't been thinking quite proper in terms of what we have. So I wrote everything last minute. They're very short, quite concise, and, the usual. So, as always, I'm going to be reading a couple of poems before we start doing our reading session for the book. Again, as always, down in the description of this video is going to be a link, Google Drive link, to download a couple more extra chapters, again, from the book that we'll be reading today. So it's a continuation of where we left off. It will be basically chapter 5 leading up to chapter 8, I think, or chapter 7. But we're going to be reading that around 20 to 30 pages, I think it is. I'll read it for you. All you have to do is relax. Don't worry about it. I hope your day's been going well. I hope you ate. I hope you stayed well hydrated. And, school might be a bit rough today. You might be starting your school day right now. You might be ending it. Either way, please, for a couple of minutes, sit down, relax. You've done great. I'm really proud of you. Good job. You mean starvation? Yeah, I've been starving. I'm starving a lot, yeah. Just dying. Really. It's quite an interesting endeavor of its own. So, I'm not sure if I should quite start reading our poems or anything. I'll leave the breast poem for later. Though I will talk about it though. For some reason, your local protagonist decided that he wanted me to write a poem about breasts, tits, boobies, and I decided to allow myself to do such a thing because I'm a pushover. That's the sort of a man that I am. So in the same sense that basically happened, I just, did it. Am I proud of that fact? Probably not. But I will say though, I just wrote it. I wrote it about 30 minutes ago, so I'm not really sure. I haven't proofread it. Keep in mind, all of these poems have not been proofread. Therefore, if grammar's weird, then it's weird. Yes, breasts, man. Breasts. Boobs, tits, chesties. I don't know why. I don't know why I did such a thing. But yeah. Also, funny little thing. Narita Boy. A lovely little Narita Boy stream. For some reason, got copyright claimed because of the music used in games. So I'm either going to stream with the copyright music playing in the background, or I'm going to remove it. Who knows? At this point, I don't care. I want to experience the whole game at its fullest, so I'm just going to get the copyright claims. It's fine. Yeah, a bit of knockers. So, how about we start with some poems, eh? A little bit of bench warmers, get us all ready a little bit. Here we are. So, on our poem category list, we have the following. We have... this is but a saddening appearance of things. Okay, So we got our prime poem, which is Breast. It's just called Breast. It could be mistaken for chicken breast. We also have Criminal. And finally, we have Promises Made. Those are our 3 poems, and I might throw in a freebie and read Gold. I'm not sure. Actually, I think I've read Gold. I might just look through my list of old books. Maybe I'll find something interesting. Who knows? But no more fretting on about. We are going to read one of them. So let's start off with how about this? How about we start with Promises? I feel like if we start with Promises, then Criminal, then Breasts. That would be a great timeline, chronologically speaking, that is. But hey, let's start it. So this one's called Promises Made. I'm not a man that swears too often. I have a reputation of never allowing promises to be broken. I rationalize my actions before giving in my oath, keeping in mind the inconvenience and consequences of them both. Due to such thinking, I've kept myself that title, because to me, fulfilling a promise is vital. A promise is more than a contract, but a form of self-respect. Do you respect yourself enough to detect whether you're being truthful or lying to one another? Trickery and forgery are amusing, but would you rather make it a conditional clause waiting for you to acquire? Promises are timeless and are mutual in design, valued by time and prone to redesign. Just like us, they change over and over with time. May that change be kind or cruel. So, short and sweet. Well, I mean, it's not too short, but I hope it's short enough and sweet enough. It's like a strawberry shortcake, though it's verbal diarrhea. Complete nonsense, might I add. A bit thirsty. Sorry. But yeah. Story behind this one. I remember, I sort of remembered something when I was sitting down on my bed. There's there's this thing in Doctor Who where the Doctor basically says, love is like a promise sort of thing. And he just talks about how promises it's like an oath. Well, it is an oath, obviously, but you can tell a lot about a man or a woman through their promises. And I was thinking about that, and I decided to write something along these lines, which follows in swiftly with our next poem called Criminal. This one has a funny backstory to it. Well, it's not funny. It's more or less just boredom at its finest. Right, am I like, no. Well, you might be a little bit, not really. The first poem was already read, but it's okay. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. You're all okay. I will repeat the first poem for you. Don't worry. I don't want you to miss out on anything. So we're going to do the first poem yet again. I mean, hey, you guys love my voice, don't you? You'll love to hear that poem again. And maybe, hey, you might think of it again in a different way. So, let's try that again. I'm not a man that swears too often. I have a reputation of never allowing promises to be broken. I rationalize my actions before giving in my oath, keeping in mind the inconvenience and consequences of them both. Due to such thinking, I've kept myself that title, because to me, fulfilling a promise is vital. A promise is more than a contract, but a form of self-respect. Do you respect yourself enough to detect whether you're being truthful or lying to one another? Trickery and forgery are amusing, but would you rather make it a conditional clause waiting for you to acquire? Promises are timeless and are mutual in design, valued by time and prone to redesign. Just like us, they change over and over with time. May that change be kind or cruel. There we go. An oath keeper is always a good man. True, that is very true. Whoever keeps their promises is a great man, or woman, or anything at this point. I'm all for it. Okay. Good job, boys. Alright, next one. Criminal. This one's has a dumb story to it, but hey. Have remorse, not pity for a criminal, for he only knew of hardship, not what we consider as normal. He only knows people as memories of the past, rather than people he could look for camaraderie that can last. What is a criminal but a misguided child, a series of bad habits compiled? There is still human in those eyes of his, no matter what he says. Eyes are hard as steel, drenched in sin, softened only by the trauma within. For no criminal will hurt a child unannounced, no criminal is as cruel as Faust, and those who are willing to do so with no conscience in sight are those whom deserve not a quiet night. Hello, Fluth. Hello, welcome. Hello. This is we're just reading poems, a bit of comfy vibes. Something I'm not really quite good at. Michael Jackson. No, this one. So I think it was about 4 a.m. in the morning. I was watching a K-drama called Vincenzo. It's basically talks about like this consigliere that is Italian that goes into Korea to steal quite a lot of things. To be fair, but there was a scene in it where he was about to murder someone. I think he remembered a past. He remembered something in his past, and I was like, "Yo, those eyes, they're quite fierce, aren't they? They're very, very fierce." But at the same time, it looked like they softened when he saw what in front of him. Hence why I decided to write this out of, admiration, perhaps. I'm not sure. It's not admiration. I'm not admiring the killing. It's more or less, I guess you could say, the actor's way of portraying things. It was good. Now, I am waiting for a specific man to come onto the stream and show himself before I read the final poem for today. Then we can move on to the story. It's called Breast. Breast. I'm going to be describing breasts in the highest class possible. Apparently that's what I'm going to be doing. I have absolutely not but the slightest of clues if this will work. If this will work, I don't really know. But it could. Maybe it won't. Who knows? I have no idea. Because he just sort of came into my... Here he is. I'm here, father. Alright. Alright, let's go. Okay, so... our lovely man over here, your local anime protagonist, requested a poem regarding breasts, and I am going to be reading what I wrote. I'm so sorry. I am so very sorry. Here we are. The breasts of a woman, oh how to begin to admire them. I adore them in all of their sizes and colour, for that is who I am. Aesthetically from the size and positioning of their nipple, physically through their up and down motion, that is so simple. Yet so mesmerizing are these things we call breasts. Many men will flock at the chance of touching a woman's breast. Like a dancer, no matter their unconscious movement, they are filled with grace. They serve as the attention seeker, averting your eyes from the face. Let it be known that I not only admire them in the perverted sense, I admire them too in a metaphorical sense. For I remember the first time I wrapped my lips around my mother's chest as she cradled me to rest. I urge you not to pervertify the intentions of motherhood. These are sentences that must never be left misunderstood. Perhaps my fascination to these parts are of nostalgic intent. I yearn for warmth and the touch of care on my hair. Is that what I meant? Is that what this admiration is for? But a silly excuse for wanting more. How long have I gone without the love of someone? How long have I craved to be vulnerable with someone? This isn't admiration. This is fabrication. I don't want to touch breasts for the simple reason of lust. I just want to feel the warmth of skin and your trust. There we go. I hate it here. I hate it here. What am I listening to? Oh, sorry, mate. I'm so sorry. Found piece of literature. Oh, I don't think it is. Boober appreciation, but poetic. My God, what have I done to deserve this? Oh, good heavens. Oh, God, I think that I will turn into a lesbian. Oh, no. What have I done? Oh, good heavens. What have I done? Oh, God. Oh, you've done it so well. I'm so proud. It's so damn profound. I don't know, mate. I've sort of sat there and I was like, what can I write about breasts? Because there's nothing I could think of to write about them. So I just sort of sat there. And I went, I can't think of anything. I could probably talk about the way that they look, their appearance, but that was just felt wrong. And then I sort of like went down a very sad route with them. And I'm like, oh no, it's not that I like breasts. No. It's that I'm very lonely and I just want to feel the warmth of somebody else with me. And then it just went to a sad route. It went from a cultured appreciation of breasts to a very sad realization. Is this my intervention? Is this stream just an intervention for me? Perhaps it may be. Oh, good God. Deliciously articulate. Oh, I would not like to be called deliciously articulate. Alright, so... Good God. Right, everybody. We finished our poetry for the day, but we are going to be doing some reading. So, in the description of this live stream right now, the very top, you will find the stories, a story thing, and there'll be a Google Drive link. All you have to do is click on the Google Drive link and download it, or you could view it in your browser. Basically, for those who are here for the first time, let me explain it to you. So, for those who are here for the first time, I wrote a book about 5 months ago that's been published, but I won't tell you what it's called. And every single Friday, I'm going to be reading chapters of the book. All you have to do is just have the book in front of you, and I'm going to be reading it for you. If you like to not look at the book, but just listen to me as just an audiobook, then by all means, please do so as well. Although, I'm going to say this, I have a requirement if you are going to listen to, how can I say this? To this, which is one requirement. Please, I beg you, grab some tea, grab a blanket, rest up. You've done a great job leading up to today. It's Friday, it's the weekend, rest up. You've done absolutely great. Anyway, shall we? So, everybody, get to the links, download it real quick. I'll give you a minute or two. Have a little bit of fun downloading it. I'll get my copy ready. I will say though, we've gotten ourselves into an interesting place. This is a say-so place. I will tell you this. Just like Fluth says, it is a say-so place. During poetry streams, I don't know why, but I am very, very, very say-so. As you can see, I haven't sworn yet. I haven't really gone off the railings. I haven't done anything quite vulgar. For the sole reason of, it's relaxation time. People need to relax. It's great, And I feel like vulgarity will make you laugh, which is not a good thing to do. But hey, it's great. Check Discord. Okay, I shall check Discord. Oh, well, this is interesting. Before we start our lovely poems, our lovely story, we have a fan-submitted poem. This is new. I would love this to become a segment. So, Risu in chat decided to send me a poem that I'm going to be reading in front of you all today. I want this to be a segment. This will be really good, honestly. Poetry Spotlight. Good for the juices of your brain. Let it all run. So, we got one. This is by Risu channel, and we are going to be reading it. So, then we'll head to our story. So, today is a day where I once known I cannot live and I wish to be reborn. What mistakes did I do to think this way, you might ask? I think it's just a way I fell to my ass. For once I thought what I desired was trust, and now have yet to find that many. Oh, where did some of these people go wrong? They all are silly for thinking that way in life is to lie, for lying is the way to die. That is our poem from Risu channel. Honestly, that's quite nice. I like that. Hey, clap. Ooh, fan submitted poem. Let's go. Yes. You know what? If you guys want, if there's enough participation, if you would like, I'm going to put out a tweet, maybe also on the Discord server. I'm going to put out an announcement for those who want to send in a poem, so we can do fan submitted poems. I would like to see your guys' way of doing poetry, how you guys use your words and everything. Honestly, that would be great. But yeah, big claps to Risu, please. That she did great, and very brave as well. 잘한다. Yay. A vent. Oh, yes. A vent. Vent. I think poetry is just venting at this point. Like, for me, I write when I'm either mad, angry, depressed, or all that, or sometimes happy. Well, my poetry is reflective of my mood on that day. So, yes, it's a good way to do things. But hey, we might do fan-submitted poetry. But for now, everybody ready? Do you have your copies of the chapters that I have decided to basically prescribe? I hope you do. Anyway, let me open mine. Let's see. I'm gonna open mine. It's right here. Got it. So, here we are. We are at chapter 5. This world of ours. Oh god, this feels pretentious already as it is. Oh, this entire stream is pretentious. So, here we go. This world of ours is nothing but a cruel man's fate, cried the man. What is this world to you, my dear Maria? He continued as he gently held the hands of the heroine resting his thumbs behind her palm. Oh, my dear clueless man, how blind are you to the world? She lets go of his hand with force. A world of lust and sexual intent, a world where taboos are practiced, of course. Oh, Maria, don't be blinded by the devil's whispers. He is nothing but a man stuck in a cruel man's fate he made. Maria, oh, Maria. But he is but a desperate man whose intent is to play and corrupt, said the man, going after his lover that walked away from him. And what intent does the pursuer of darkness such as you have? To obtain knowledge for the light? Rid yourself of such foolish and childish explanations, she said as she shrugged off his remarks. It is true. The priests of the pit enlightened me, my love. And they gave us this wealth that we have amassed. It brought you that dress, those jewels, that are unmatched by your beauty, he said, attempting to ease up her mood. To think this was an honest man's work. It is an honest man's work. Can't you see, Maria? All that good that this evil gave us. No evil is this kind. Don't let other people sway you from what is to be seen, he interrupted. Oh, dear God, how far have you fallen? She said. Her face expressed shock. Massive amount of shock. I got distracted by my door. Sorry. Okay, there we go. We are here. To receive the man she was once knew as someone different. I have fallen, not ascended, to the hive mind of security instead. Maria, my dear, why would you tie yourself with the fatigue of thought when such a tedious act could be done for you at no cost? He said. His tone showed admiration and passion towards his cause. Puzzled yet horrified, she was determined for an answer to a question brought forth now by her husband's newfound statement. Is marrying me part of that freedom of thought of yours? She asked. Her eyes did not blink, swayed in no direction whatsoever, fixated upon the man she calls husband. She awaits the answer. Don't be ridiculous, Maria. I chose you of my own accord, he said, taken aback by her question. How can I trust you? After all of this, what of your words are of you, and what of your words are of this thing you call hive mind? She said. What of this, then? The man lifts up his hand close to the face of his wife. This golden ring, of which we shed our vows to, a ring of gold that when reflected on casted a light, not the absence of it, he said with a manic smile on his face. To him, those words were enough to convince her of his intent. Oh dear, if I were to know that such a man to whom I will be wed to finds pleasure in the dark, then I would have asked for a silver ring, she said, adding a healthy amount of harshness to her voice. Silver? The man exclaimed. You are not any better if you were to choose silver over gold, he said, raising his voice in response to her surprising statement. If this ring is all that you can show for yourself as proof of your own consciousness, then I know that the man I loved was long gone, she said. Sadness blew through the breaths that escaped those lips that carried with them towards. This ring is enough, he said. He grabbed her by her wrist, his grip firm, almost painful. He continued. When we were brought up as children, we were told that when given a golden ring, the man loves you and wants to spend the rest of his life with you. But if a man were to give you a ring of silver, he wants nothing more than pleasure from you. Hold on, I need to blow my nose. Getting some RM14s is ready. Honestly, might as well. I feel like it is. Okay. Leaning in closer to him, eyes as wide as day, I saw more love in the eyes of the man whom silvered Michelle. She thought of herself as a whore, yet she feels more like a wife than me when I'm with you. With force, she removed her hands from the grips of a man she once loved. In defeat, he becomes frozen, unable to move, and to think of what to do from this point on. Farewell, Jacob. May you find salvation of any sort with the praise of the pit, but I take no part in any more, she said, as she walks off stage. The spotlight casted on the man, with the curtains closing in on both sides. He looks towards the audience and said, "What a fool I was to love what I could not understand. One cannot be loyal and ambitious, and I have taken it too far," said the man. A play of lovers, an expectation of such romance, funny to see such a concept romanticized rather than realized. One may have questions as to what will happen next to the woman and or the man, but that is not for anyone else's leisure. Audience members get to witness the events unfold even further if they so like, looking up the bulletin board which plays "Do the following actors take parts in?" It isn't unusual for people to wonder to what end do these characters go to, curious to their actions and relative understanding. People will flock to those boards in hordes if they must, just to entertain themselves or possibly even take part in a play with said actors. Auditioning to a role of which they don't know is highly common as well. People that believe they can play a better role than any of the actors present within the set are free to show their skills that they can offer. Others simply want to be the main attraction of said play, regardless of the play, whatever it is about or the ease of it. Such intent, be it ill or good-willed, is not of any concern for the director. Chosen or not will only be based on the abilities the director wants. None of the actors in this play had any context behind their words, therefore the actors seemed disconnected at times with their character. These were actors who are relatively new to the idea of it. The fear of the stage and the audience in front of them may have heightened their nerves. There are, some actors who go as far as to insert themselves into this play by using or gaining life experiences. Many actors have gotten themselves broken-hearted on purpose to immerse themselves better with their role. Yet, with all these cases of utter stupidity or passion, you can't help but continue to watch, curious as to how any play might play out. For all its common tropes and lack of lackluster plot lines, one can only dare to perhaps find interest in something unusual. Plays ending abruptly or continuing until the end of time, promoting themselves with features such as a deconstruction of a genre, or the reimagining the foundation of a genre. This was the intent that the director had. The scripts the director made couldn't be understood by those around the stage. Only the director understood what is going on, therefore continuing the many plays produced on a daily. What is the director thinking? When he places qualified and unqualified people for roles, they are either too young to be in it or too old to be. Betraying the source material and allowing certain people whom lack the body type describe for the character they are playing. "Wouldn't you like to know?" said a voice to one of the audience members. A haunting feeling strikes his skin. Rough, textured fingers wrap themselves around his heart, not letting go of what is believed as the superior organ. Dimmed-out eyes gaze upon a stage that once held elegance. To the beholder of these eyes, beauty is found no more, only rusted gears and clogs, monitoring what is left of these plays. Pedaled by labor, driven not by passion, the boy viewed the stage as a man who has lost his way with his art. Did the director really know what is going on? I mean, the director did cast the two actors alongside me, when they didn't do anything. Even more so, the director could have just banished me. An actor number 2, but instead, even actor number 1 got wrapped into this, the voice said to him. He finds it hard to answer the third actor when he whispers to him, briefly explaining things that are considered trivial, densely packing the information, cramming the words into condensed molecules. Mind if I sit next to you? Said a man with the same clothes as the boy. The boy nods at the stranger in front of him and allows him to sit next to him. Hi, I'm Jack Dawson. It's nice to meet you, Alex. I'm a huge fan of your acting, he exclaimed. He spoke highly of Alex. Nice to meet you. But I have been acting for only 3 months. I find it quite hard to believe that you're a fan of my work, Alex said, wondering if there was some sort of confusion. I am. Your passion for it's incredible. I adore how you amplify the shine of other actors with you rather than shining them or outshining them. When a senior actor would be present, you would tone him down to the level of all the other actors. I find it quite hard to do. No. Anyone can do as much as I do, said Alex. No, you are talented, my good sir, and it's almost disrespectful to me to have debuted with you on the same year, Jack said. This conversation went on with the same pattern as before. He would compliment him, and he would continue to deny it, the same cycle over and over again. Yet you might find it boring, but it's rather odd to the boy. His obsession with him was unmatched for a stage so dedicated to its plays, with no time to spare on building bonds with other actors. He found him quite rare in those terms. Limited time and tight schedules, actors have no time to further their personal lives and develop meaningful bonds with people of their same career, or people outside of it. He is rather familiar in appearance to someone, but the boy can't remember. He was always in a play with him as a supporting character or as a secondary protagonist, but never has he seen him alone. The natural thought is to think a side character like him doesn't get much credit, is to be unpopular or an outcast, but in a weird way he is popular amongst their peers. What did you think of the play, Alex? Said Jack. I found it rather boring, in my opinion, Alex said. He then continued to support his remark. Why did Maria leave him on the spot after one interaction with him? Shouldn't she stay and attempt to understand him? She is wearing a golden ring after all. But a golden ring is meaningless under the context of which the scene is in, he interrupted. A golden ring is given to a lover, while a silver ring is given to a whore as a symbol of her being the man's property, the boy replied. As expected from a graduate using the textbook definition of things, you really are clueless. They laughed with his eyes closed. Now, I do agree that my knowledge is limited due to my qualifications, but this much is obvious, Alex said, as he tried to defend his stance on the situation. Why, yes, it would have been if it was as simple as an amateur's work, but this is the director that we are talking about. Nothing is as simple as it seems, Jack said. The boy turned his body to his admirer to get a good look at the person he was speaking to. Care to explain? Alex said. Gladly. On paper, to be golded is to be loved and married, while being silvered is to be used and abandoned, but such is not always the case. There are people out there who have been golded only to later find out that the intentions were silver. Some women may only agree to acts of pleasure, but not all of them do, Jack said. So what of it? If there are prettier women than those who have been golded, the boy replied. But they are not particular taste of the men that deceive those women, Jack said. This is all speculation, is it not? Alex replied. No, if it is to be crossed as such. I urge you to ask around the people whom were involved or witnessed the plays prior to the events of today, Jack said. There are plays before this one. Why continue a story about two human beings falling in and out of love? What is there to be said that has not been said? Said Alex. It is not what has been done that makes a play unique. It's the execution of the work and the portrayal of the characters by the actors they were assigned to, said Jack. Can you tell me what happened before the play today? Said Alex. Not much to note. It provided the audience with information to build a world in their heads, such as them having 2 children, a little girl and a cowardly little boy, said Jack. Convinced enough, the boy stopped arguing with Jack, ending their conversation in silence, broken then by the admirer again to ask a question. Alex, what do you make of that? He pointed towards the stage. He then continues. Alright, let me read chat first. For those like me who are simple-brained, the current plot is French actor taking acting way too seriously and destroys marriage and processes. Once you finish your book, you should read some Theodore Da Vinci. Lol, it would take a whole stream to get through 1 chapter though, and 4 to understand the chapter. You know what? Yeah, Sure. If it's okay, I'm open to any book. Right. Has to be a public domain book, though. And to keep that in mind. So, next one. It's been 3 months since the actor became the hideous monster. The infant-like parasite swimming within the bubbles bulging out of his flesh, well, disturb even the bravest of men, said Jack. Unfortunate are the events that have transpired, I do agree, but such is the way of life, Alex said. Way of life? There is no nature in this descent from humanhood. There is no nature in this world that could turn a man into this, Jack said. For as hideous, disfigured, and almost impossible to recognize as this husk is, it still remains a human template in design. 3 months have passed since the event of the actor, and people have grown accustomed to its certain degree. Treating it as a part of the set made it easier for some actors to continue their play in peace. Yes, I suppose so, Alex replied. Jack quickly turns over to Alex, meeting eye to eye for the first time. I'm sorry, I was being disrespectful towards you. It takes a man a couple more than 3 months to get used to this, for a lack of a better term, change, Jack said. Alex smiled at Jack, placing a hand on his shoulder. It's alright. There's nothing to apologize for, Alex said. Jack stands up from his seat and placed one of his hands in his pockets. I must take my leave now. I have a play to be a part of, said Jack. I wish you luck on your performance, said Alex. Likewise, said Jack. Making his way through the tight seating arrangement, the boy was left alone to watch over the stage. His eyes looked directly at the creature at the center of the stage, fascinated by the brilliance of nature and terrified by it. His knowledge of what it is and what it does are limited to an uncomfortable amount. All he knew was that the creature was called the Mother. Alright, so that is chapter 5. And now we're moving to chapter 6, which is, funnily enough, a poem. Funnily enough, it's a poem. So for those who wanted more poems, here we go. Chapter 6. A Flower Amongst Flowers. Not everybody is created equally. Some people were created to be loved more than others. Some people were to be remembered more than others. Not everyone is born with the same common ground. Not everyone is born with the same starting point. No, it's not money. No, it's not talent. No, it's not beauty. It's the people around them. A flower blossoms when other flowers around it have blossomed. A flower cannot come to existence if it was by itself. Thorns are an interesting part of a rose, don't you think? Such lustrous red allures many of those who pass it by. We can't help but pick it up, keep it, and forget it. Once its beauty starts to resemble humanity, we throw it away. Maybe those thorns were created by the flowers to protect themselves, to not be picked, to not be taken from the soil from which it was born, from the soil that gave it life. It's ironic how in religion we associate soil with the beginning of life. At the same time, that very soil becomes the source of our death, the ending of life. The soil is the cycle of life which we as the bud need to continue to come to terms with. Only by then can we bloom like our favorite flower. Only then we can attain beauty beyond humanity, reason behind thorns and imaginary walls. Only then can we thrive with meaning, so that one day our names won't be lost in history, so that one day our names won't be a memory. I await the day that I bloom into an Astra Moria, or maybe an Esther. An anemone seems to be who I'll become, or perhaps a red spider lily. What will I become, my dear gardener? Will I flourish amongst your Garden of Eden? Will I open my eyes to the Garden of Babylon? Silence. You never do reply to me, dear gardener of mine. You simply water me like you water the others. I was a seed with an aspiration to become a rose, to become a tulip, forgetting the laws of nature of which you've created. I am a seed who has one outcome. I have no possibility. I have no choice. I am to grow and bloom as the flower that you have chosen me to be, not to aspire to be another. Not all flowers are planted the same. Some of them were created to be loved more than others. Some of them were created to be remembered more than others. Not everyone is born with the same common ground. Not everyone is born with the same starting point. No, it's not the money. No, it's not talent. No, it's not beauty. It's the people around them. Oh, hi Brian. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hello. We are in chapter 7 currently. Yeah, we're in chapter 7. Not much has happened. You missed 3 poems, and you came along the ending of the 4th poem, and you missed an entire chapter. But don't you worry, because if you are a lovely reader, you will love to read it out there. Oh god, I don't remember what I was thinking of when I wrote the flower amongst flowers part. Was I tired? Was I high? I don't even do drugs. I don't think I was high. Hello. Oh, hello, Saika, not Seikai. Saika, hello, welcome to the stream. Hello, thank you for coming, thank you for dropping by, as usual. Oh, good heavens. Well, we have, I think, one more chapter. Is it one more chapter? Good God, is it one more chapter? I don't know. I don't think it is. It's definitely not one more chapter, right? Yeah, it shouldn't be. I don't think it is. I missed the boba poem, didn't I? Yes, you did. Yes, I'm so sorry. You did. Ooh, I am high. Hello. So yeah, no, you missed the boba poem. Sorry about that. I can show you what I wrote later. For those who missed it, I can just send it to them. Or, I can clip it. Though clipping it is probably not a good idea now that I think about it. Oh, good God, I don't know. Alright, so let us move on to Eyes, chapter number 7. So, Saika and also Brian, again, since you guys are new here, what you want to do is, in the description of this live stream, is a Google Drive link that you would like to open. You can choose to download it, or you can choose to also advertently view it. I will be reading that. That is a book that I've written, and all you have to do is just relax as I read this to your ear. It's simple as that. Nothing too fancy, nothing special. You don't have to buy anything. No, nothing. Don't worry about it. Just rest up, enjoy what you have. La-di-dee, la-da-do. Don't know how to continue that. La-di-dee, la-da-do. So, I'm going to wait a couple of more jiffy minutes. Actually, not jiffy minutes. I think it's been downloaded. It doesn't take that long. It's only like a couple of bits. Saika, you did. No, I'm sure Fumiyo can post the script unless he did this off the dome. I did not do this off the dome. I can't do off the dome. If I do off the dome, I will trail off to oblivion. I will say something so strange you won't. Well, to be fair, everything that I've written so far is quite strange. Oh, well, anyway. Trying to get back on schedule. Let's go. Woo! Chapter number 7. Eyes. Here we are. Jack and Alex had a play to perform together. The director wanted a newcomer. The two of them fit the criteria and were told of the play that they are to partake in. Alex never thought that the director would choose him for a role such as this. It was a role that he wanted to play. Though he was just a young talent, Alex received more than a few offers of leading roles. When such opportunities arise, his passion is driven further to a point of obsession, critiquing every part of his performance until he is pleased first, then the world second. You can ask about sometime. Yes, you can ask about sometime, no problem. Meticulous was Alex about every part of his performance, including the costumes he wore. He believed that clothing further strengthened the connection between the actor and the character they are playing. Everything from the fabric to the stitching were not left without notice. Certain outfits made his shoulders look broad, while others gave it a downward slope. Depending on the character he was trying to portray, this would either be to his advantage or disadvantage. Like the Bluebeard play, he wanted to be unified by his 7 wives, each of them bring him the part that he is hailed. Each of them bring him the part that is hailed as sinful, the dark, the happy, the unlucky side of things. He required every part of it to be managed and moderated by him in order for him to feel who he is playing. Jack wore a Victorian attire, a black shirt and a purple vest, with red gloves, trousers black lined with red horizontal lines extending to his leather brown belt. His posture commanded attention, a back as straight as a soldier, with a hint of elegance to his every movement, whether it was walking or moving his hands. The lights turned on. The directness signaled them that the play has started. "Thou art but a young folk, unknowing of the truth laid in front of you," said Jack with a mighty grin. Alex turned around, his hair being commanded to move to make way for his eyes. With confidence, he said, "Must the truth be laid out to cherish the lie of which we live in? A bit of ignorance hurts no one." "Alas, the true form of thee has been shown to the masses." Projecting his body towards the audience, he continued, "Everybody feast your eyes upon the perpetrator of lies, the temper of sin, the actor who fell from grace." Projecting his voice to the audience encouraged them to feel included. It gave them the feeling of being a part of what is to come rather than the observers. Alex proceeded to act out the same movement facing the crowd. "Thy might perpetuate lies, but aren't the masses satisfied with it? Aren't the masses pleased with smiles and laughter? Art thou a robber of joy?" said Alex as he gently turned his neck towards Jack. "'Tis laughter is temporary. It is nothing but delusional. It is but a fading sensation that man shall forget along with its provider," Jack said with a serious look on his face. "That's not in the script, Jack," Alex said with a chuckle in his voice. "Happiness is a fleeting. Sadness shall devour your every last breath. Don't think for a moment you can defy what I'm capable of," Jack said, approaching Alex with small but confident strides. What makes hardcore readers cream this up? Alex looks towards the director, motioning with his lips. "Director, please. Director, may you please intervene?" The director remained silent. "Fine. If this is how you want to go about it, I'm going to please you." Alex improvises a few lines of his own. He wouldn't let himself be bested. "You lack positivity, good sir. You seem like you need it. A bit of joy and light shall brighten up those sad, gloomy clouds of yours," Alex said. "I have no need for something which I cannot bear in my hands. What I do need are your eyes," Jack said. His strides grew larger. "Excuse me?" Alex replied. Jack grabbed Alex's skull with his left hand, inserting both of his thumbs and index fingers to each one of Alex's eye sockets, clawing out his eye like a brute. The index finger went behind the eyeball from the top, while the thumb was placed underneath his eyeball, trying to pick it out like one would do to berries in an orchard. Jack's strength was not enough. He underestimated the construction of what to him was an alien figure. Determined to obtain what he desires, Jack continued to pull while inserting more fingers. Alex struggled as much as he can, attempting to tear off the arms that were robbing him of his property. But that struggle was in vain. He tried to push him away, but Jack already made himself attached to Alex. "Stop it! Stop! It hurts! Stop!" Alex urges the man to stop his crime, but the robber cared less for the pain being inflicted by him. With an immense amount of strength, Jack snaps one of his eyes out of his eye socket. Blood dripped from it, as what it seemed like wires that once connected those eyes to Alex became undone. With one eye closed, Jack held the eye close to the stage light and inspected the eye for himself, turning it and rubbing it. "What innocent eyes you have here, boy. It's a shame if something were to happen to it. Such innocence must be preserved," Jack said. Alex whimpers, he cries. To the clueless audience members, to them this was all part of the play. No one would dare move in fear of ruining what the director worked on. Who would blame them? After all, the urge of doubt would have been upon them if only blood was shed. From the now empty eye socket, blood dripped not. Flower petals poured out of them, replacing the blood inside of them. The blood spilled on the floor, evaporated, and replaced with flower petals in large piles. Jack looked at Alex with disgust, commenting on the petals. "Was that mother of yours really believed she could make you human? But look at you. No human would ever cry foul, Petals. Did she think it would make you beautiful? He said. My mother did nothing wrong, Alex replied. He did, Jack said as he kicked Alex on his torso. He continues. Parasite scum like you should be killed. Brothers, sisters of any age, your mother shouldn't have let you hatch. Alex drops to the floor, kneeling down looking up to his mother, but his mother speaks no more. With his limited vision, he sees his unborn brothers and sisters floating in their bubble, eyes closed attached to their umbilical cords, awaiting for their birth. Blind, disfigured, and backstabbed by his supposed admirer, he kneels before Jack, petals pouring, replacing the blood that he should be shedding. From the deep hollowed-out eye socket grew a flower with a peculiar appearance. The stem wraps itself around the inside, while the rest sprung out resembled the appearance of a red spider lily. It continued growing. From a singular stem grew yet another. The process repeated itself over and over, and again, until his eyes were completely covered by it. Still trying to be beautiful. No number of flowers can hide the presence of filth from you than you, Jack said. Jack attempted to get rid of them, but they stay firm in place, unable to be removed. These damn flowers! As long as I have your eyes, I will prevent you from seeing the world before you, Alex thought to himself. What does he mean? What does he want with my eye? What is this world he speaks of? I know not of a world, I know only of a stage of which I was born in. The flowers intertwined together, patching up the hollowed-out eye socket, forming what appeared to be an eyeball. With it, Alex regained his vision through them. Within his view is a man staring him down with complete hatred written all over his face, standing tall and proud of the actions he committed. Of all the things you could have taken away from me, what use is an eyeball? Alex said. Eyes are like flowers, my boy. They are meant to be picked. Your eyes are weeds in the garden of the director. With this, I've cleaned up the mess your pathetic monster of a mother made, he said as he crushed Alex's eyeball with his bare hands. Alex looked at the director with panic and fear, hoping for some guidance, to seek help in a situation he is very unfamiliar with, but the director remained silent. The play must go on as a motto that the stage goes by. No matter the injury or even the death of an actor due to unforeseen accident, nothing will interrupt a play. How can someone continue like this? This is inhumane. This is not a play I was promised. It's a lie. All of you, it's a lie. Alex tried. He really did. To pursue the audience with his words, crawling to them, but no one believed him. Why should they? These are words coming from a boy who was known for his inhuman skills to replicate emotions, tones, and articulation no actor of his age could achieve. To further illustrate this, the boy is standing on a stage with people whom paid to see a performance that they are unaware of in terms of content, beginning and ending. They simply are acting according to how an audience member must conduct themselves. With silence. Please, I beg of you all, this is not a show. This is not a gimmick to tug onto your heartstrings and elicit an emotion. I am real, he spouts. With all of his might, he was desperate. The fear of pain loomed over him, but he was instead met with silence. Not a sound was heard. Not a single breath, be it a sigh or a cough. Not even the involuntary sound of a chair creaking. Nobody believed the boy who cried wolf. Perhaps they awaited another to attempt to help. Awaiting a leader to rally behind to carry out a unified message, but that is far too optimistic. In a hallway full of people, not a single soul dared to question the director, scared of the judgment, clueless to the script. All have learned from the prior experiences. They were taught well, or rather trained well, to perform exactly as they were supposed to. They remained well behaved and maintained that manner of doing everything that they can do to not interrupt the actors during their play. With this, all hope seems to have lost, for no matter how beautiful his mother made him, only disgust will be met for people of his kin. People born from the bubbles of the mother, the first sinner of Arusa, are fated for tragedy and are only instruments of tragic ends. They sing the melodies of a life spoken not of and the consequences of diverting from the quota. They were made as an example. The kneeling Alex feels the sensation come onto his knee. He looks down towards the sensation only to see his trousers near his knee area turn wet. Following the trail of fluid with his eyes, he quickly finds the source of all cruel fates, the reason to whom he owes many tears, soon will be his savior. His jaw starts to open widely as he watches the infant in the bubble grow in size. No, he was growing, yes, but not only in size, but also in age. Limbs growing in no order, with feet growing as tall as 10 inches, but arms linger on their youthful construction. The bubble looked as if it was about to explode at any minute, pulsating with veins appearing across the bubble, moving in the same rhythmic pace as a human heart. Alex tried to reach his hand to touch his sibling, but all of that was abruptly grinded to a halt when Alex breathed no more. In a swift motion with no time wasted, almost as if it was calculated, Alex's neck was sliced clean off of his shoulders. Like the measures in a musical sheet waiting for the second movement, the bubble exploded the moment Alex's head touched the flowers beneath him. The air littered with petals scatter all over, attempting to center the body that was once belonging to someone who is once alive. The flowers in his eyes slowly faded in color, drying out, blown into the wind, turning to fine dust. There is no such thing as hiding the truth to the beholder. With no flower to patch it, it was plain to see to the masses his injury. With this, I have saved you, Jack said, as he slits his own throat, killing himself as well. But amidst the blood and the flowers, amongst the bodies of the dead laid out near each other, life sprung forth. Out of the mother's womb, soaked in blood, riddled with petals, a boy was born. Eyes greyed out, hair as white as snow, lips chapped and pale. Symmetric in its development, the boy was born with beauty to be held by those with the same value as the muse. He looked to his left and found clothes wrinkled and damaged, but aren't soaked in blood. He undresses the now deceased Alex, robbing him of the clothes he needs no more. Calmly, without cracking his calm expression, the boy dresses himself in his own leisure in front of the audience. Time taken to his liking, he finally polishes up his appearance. Moving forward to the edge of the stage, the boy bows down, a hand on his stomach and another horizontally hanging. The clothes did not fit him in the right way. The white suit, marked out with a large amount of black, gradually fading into a sleeve, made his shoulders far too large and lifted whatever he moved. The crowd stood up from their seats, clapping, whistling to congratulate the theatre for their exceptional work and efforts. Yet no one knew of the horror that truly transpired in the miracle known as birth. Yet this truly was a play, one that rivals that of unmonitored child as they play with their toys. And that is the end of that chapter. No time to read. We can make screen cells, gore, lol, JK. At the end of the book, it says, I cut your acting made me cream my pants. It was good. Great job. I got Sorry if I got loud. I'm sorry. Okay. Finally, the last chapter for today. The very last chapter for today. And then after this, I will let you go. Alright. Final chapter. Chapter number 8. Rabbits. I remember a long time ago when mothers used to be givers, the caretakers, those who would mold you and reshape you when needed. The blacksmiths whom held you back in place when you curve in one direction too much, when you were not in the right angle. Those angels and curvature Sorry, those angles. Apparently I wrote as angels. Those angles. My editor really didn't care, did he? Yeah. Oh, I see a little thing. Roses are red, ice cream comes in scoops, my life like a movie, my life like a YouTube. Oh, I love that. That's a great reference to something we love, don't we? Alright. Those angles and curvature, made for the beauty that we as children hold. They give purpose, they give us power to be more and do more than we could ever have done. I remember a time of which mothers used to be generous. They used to hold you tightly and call you their everything. They would bathe you in warmth and security. At the end of a day, it felt like everything was worth it. A time when our mother's voice would slowly and sweetly take you to bed, sing you a song or read you a tale. A harmony made only better by the mixture of both your mother and your father joining forces to make the best symphony. Simpler times could never be any simpler. But rabbits, they are an interesting species. They are both white and black. They are not confined to a specific color. Maybe we should be more like rabbits, so that no one color feels alone, so that no one color is singled out over the other. Rabbits are beautiful, and so are we. Rabbits come from multiple sides of the world, yet they do what others do as well. They aren't picky, they aren't different, for rabbits are rabbits, and they will remain as such. I once saw a black rabbit get along with a white rabbit. A ginger rabbit do as well. That is something only rabbits do. Humans, on the other hand, do that as a privilege, but not a right. They look for their right, but never what was left for them. They seek more sacrificing and manipulating their way to the top of the social chain, but what for? With the window blowing on my skin, with the cheeks of a man gifted by his mother, I stand here and recite mindless words to your ears. Hear me this little passage if you may allow me to. Rabbits are rabbits, for they are not bound. Rabbits are rabbits when they jump around. Black, white, and orange and all around. Colors of the rainbow make the rabbits stand their ground. Rabbits are rabbits with no noun. Rabbits are rabbits even when they make no sound. Rabbits are rabbits for they breed to much. Rabbits are rabbits for their children are used as such. If ever a rabbit leaves or runs away, rabbits will breathe another the following day. Da 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 da. Like, oh my arm just cracked it. So that is the end of Poetry Day / Reading Day. Oh God. I hope you enjoyed. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you want to jump off of a bridge because of it? Did I give you existential crises and worrying in number? Very worrying in number. I hope you enjoyed it at least. But yeah, that was that. So I'm gonna go get some new drawers as mine are absolutely crammed. True. Thankfully my drawers aren't that crammed because I don't really have much. Oh, sorry, creamed. Oh, I thought you mean crammed. I thought we were talking about drawers. Oh my God, why scream yourself? Oh, you silly little man. Okay, well, thank you again for watching / listening / being here. Thank you. It's a pleasure to have people always come around during these streams. It makes me happy. But of course, tomorrow is going to be Saturday. Sunday, Sunday, I will not be present. I won't be streaming unless I decide to do a gorilla stream, which again, watch out for, because I'm very known for my gorilla streams, aren't I, chat? So for those who would like to catch me streaming, just know that there might be gorilla stream, but for those who want certainty, that's that. There's a potential that I'll have a Among Us collab on Sunday or Saturday. I'm not sure yet. The people that I'm with haven't really determined it, but I won't be streaming that collab at all. I will be participating in it, yes, but I won't be streaming, sorry. So I'll link in somebody else's stream in the server so you can watch me be stupid, basically. So, again, my name has been Fumiyo, and thank you very much for allowing me to entertain you tonight, for allowing me to snuggle up to you and comfort you on a Friday night, or a Friday day, or Friday, whatever. But it's a Friday. Rest up, No more homework, no more studying. You've done grand. You are absolutely amazing in what you've done. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, drink your water, wear your seatbelt, be as lovely as always. Remember that you are loved, that you are valued, that you are amazing, and you are hard at work. And yeah. おやすみ、こんばんは、おはようございます。Bye bye. My chat. I love you. Bye. I did it.